I'm sitting here in the Belize History Museum, and it's very emotional just going through all the history of Belize and stuff like that. It's important to teach your kids their history.
it was not an interest of working in the museum that landed me here. It was just an opportunity that was offered to me. I was currently working in the accounting department in Belmopan for almost 12 years, and that contract ended. And thereafter, I was offered this position, which is very new to me. You know, because like I said, I was in accounting, so this is history. It's often new to me, but it's something that I love doing.
Okay, okay. So what is your favorite artifact or exhibit in the museum and why?
Okay, well, my favorite exhibit in the museum will be the enslaved exhibit. And the reason being is because it tells the history of the enslaved people from the arrival into the Caribbean, namely here in Belize. You know, and just their story alone, the message behind it, you know. So, and the history that really, you know, gets my attention. So, and I believe also from visitors that come in the museum, that's something that of all the exhibits, that's one that really, you know, take a toll on them. Just the history alone of, you know, the
Very,
people being
very
enslaved.
powerful, right?
Okay, yes,
Yeah,
very
very
powerful
powerful.
exhibit. First of all, this Museum of Belize, it's the it was, before it became the Museum of Belize, it was a prison, Her Majesty's prison. It's the second prison to be built in Belize. This prison here was built in started construction in 1854, and it was completed in 1857. From then, it has been here. After that, the prison relocated to Hattieville, which is now the Kobe Foundation, and it has become the Museum of Belize since February of 2002.
Wow. So how do you engage local community to promote the museum and
Okay, we have activities that we do with the locals, and we have programs. For example, ending of last year, we had what is called the night at the museum, where we had a wine night, whereby we had visitors came into the museum for the night, a Friday night. It was after work hours, and we had, you know, they had wine. They purchased their ticket to enter into the museum for the night. They got a glass of wine upon entry. They got some katikuri cups, and you know, we engaged with them. We did exhibits, tours for the exhibits for that night with them, you know, and we just interacted. We played games, you know. We had games. Yes, games, team games. We had team games. Yes, you know, we already had them. We even had where they had like hunt. They had to go and hunt for stuff within the museum. Okay. Yeah, so we had, you know, it was very interesting. So that's one activity that we did, which was the night of the museum. And we also do like summer programs with the kids as well, you know. And with that, we have local partnerships. Like, for example, we have Belize Electricity Limited, BL. That was one of our partnership with the past summer program that we had. Yeah, so we had the BL partnership, and then we also have locals from Manatee, which was one of the first runaway, where the slaves run away to here in Belize. Yes, which was one of the first establishment for runaways, which is Manatee. Yes, we have some locals from Manatee, namely Mr. Emmett Young. He comes in as well, you know, and he does programs like as well, summer programs with these kids, teach them how to make drums, you know, and different stuff like that. We do paintings with them, you know, yes, make Creole instruments, do paintings. We also go through the exhibits with them, give them information. We take them on trips. Yeah, so that's one way how we interact with the local community.
right? So are there any upcoming events or exhibitions that visitors should look forward to?
We have two upcoming events currently. We have one week that will be coming on Saturday. That is going to be over at the House of Culture, like an artist night where we get vendors. They will come and they showcase what they have to sell, artists and stuff like that. We'll have like a pop-up shop for the night. So that's coming up on Saturday, where we have local vendors that will be participating.
So I got like a bonus question. Is that okay to ask?
Sure.
So if you was to go to any place in Africa, right? Be it Ghana, Liberia, Nigeria. Don't say Liberia now because I'm from Liberia. So where would you want to go in Africa? Like if you was to go visit? Like,
I've always wanted to visit Nigeria.
Okay, why Nigeria?
Because for some reason, I tend to look at a lot of Nigerian movies.
Ooh,
Yes,
okay, Nollywood.
Yeah, for
Okay.
example, I was looking at one last night. And
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
I really love Nigerian movies. And for some reason, I feel like their culture, you know, like I just feel some kind of connection to
Pretty
them.
close,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
That's why they say you can take a person out of Africa, but you cannot take
Yes,
Africa out of them.
exactly. I feel a connection to them. So for me, if I could go somewhere in Africa, it
Yeah.
would be Nigeria.
Nigeria. What if I say come to Liberia because we accept you?
Well, of course, I would refuse. I would refuse. I
Okay.
would gladly accept.
Okay. So,
Yes.
thank you so much. I
Okay.
appreciate you.
Thank you too.
God bless you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Each of these cells was built to accommodate 7 men, but at one point it got so overpopulated here inside the prison that it held up to 11 men. Everybody would be standing. And then at that time they did not have restroom. They had the buckets. Who did you think took out those buckets? The weakest link. Pail buckets back then.
Wow.
So the weakest one would be the one that would be in charge of taking out that pail bucket. This is like south of our country. This is how you can find a Garifuna residing. This is their home right here. It's made from a wood that is called palmetto that is very easily to catch on fire. And then the roof is made of thatch as well. I don't know if they have like that belief of the Mayas. They believe 3 days before the full moon is when you cut these cocoon palm. And that is when they tie them together. And these roofs lasted 13 to 15 years before restoration where it needed to take place. All of this right here, coconut, is one of their staple food as well because they have a dish that is called seré. And that is made from pure coconut. You would take that coconut and you would chop it open in half. You would take the inner layer that is called the meat and you can grater it on that same grater there. Strain it out, squeeze out all the milk. Throw away the trash and that milk is then put into the soup with okras, cocos, cassavas, yams, green plantain, ripe plantain and fish, and that was their meal.